Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
What's up? Laugh Therapy listeners, cousins, lesties, and all. We do hope you guys have had a great week since last week. This week has been a doozy. I don't know if anybody else has felt that crazy energy that's been moving in, but I have been sleepy as all get out, guys. I have been trying to keep my eyes peeled open. My bed has been calling me. Okay. It's been calling me, and I know it's just hitting her. It's starting to call her as well. But welcome to Laugh Therapy, where we elevate your mood and your mental, one laugh at a time. We are doing a continuation this week of our show last week, which was talking about 90s sitcoms and kind of trying to break down which ones were the best. We always argue about which one was the best show, but we're giving our flowers to specific characters and what made the show the best show. So we're kind of breaking down each characters and what we loved about them, what they meant to us, what they taught us, the lessons, their love stories, what they represented to us, and things of that nature, so that we could give our flowers and kind of decide who, individually, who really bodied their characters. And of course, to help me do that, I've got my co-host with me,
JD, aka Sunshine. What's up, y'all? Pew, pew, pew. But before we get started, I just want to give a shout out to the Las Vegas Aces. Y'all out there killing it. One game away from repeating. Let's go, Aces, so we can hit that parade up again, y'all.
I think they can give us a three-peat.
Yeah, maybe we can do a show from the parade.
Oh, that would be dope.
Oh, yeah, that would be super
dope.
dope.
And celebrate women's basketball.
Yeah. So, Las Vegas Aces, let's
Stay
get it done.
But yeah, so last week we went over specific characters, fun characters like Urkel versus Miss Parker versus Nikki, and I do believe Nikki Parker won that one for us. And then we went over Martin Payne from Martin and Will Smith from The Fresh Prince, and if I'm not mistaken, Will Smith won that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did, who did we do? Uncle Phil and Carl Winslow from Family Matters.
I don't think we went over that one. I think we moved around. We might have to add that one in.
Okay, we might have to add that one in. We did Aunt Viv and Claire Huxtable. Claire won for me. I think Aunt Viv won for Jess here. She was pushing Aunt Viv, man. And I love Aunt Viv. But when we went to the specific categories, I was like, Claire Huxtable
I could connect
hit.
with Aunt Viv a little bit more. I think that's why.
I think I would agree with that. But overall, like when I think about what I actually took from the show characters, like what I learned from them, I feel like I learned more from Claire. I identified more with Viv. She was sassy. She was brown or more chocolatey. She was smart. She was charismatic.
An educator. I think that's what had my heart. She was an educator. You know that's my background.
So, anywho, so we are starting this week, guys, with Pam from Martin versus Max from Living Single. And it hurt a little bit. I ain't even gonna.
Two of my favorite characters ever.
I ain't even gonna hold y'all. My therapist is calling me. You're like, somebody ain't checking. No, I'm playing. Max versus Pam. Who are you going with when it comes to who had the best character impact versus the actor? So remember, this is talking about the actor that played this character. Could this actor have been switched out for anybody else? Like, did they own their character? Versus Pam and Max. Could anybody else have played Pam? I don't think anybody else would have been able to play Pam.
I'm going to be honest. They probably could have switched roles. That's the only role. That's the only people I see.
Could play each other?
Or old girl from Girlfriends. Maya.
I don't think Maya could have played Pam. I think she would have been a funny Maya, but I don't think she would have been the Pam that we know and love. I feel like because Tisha and Tashina have a friendship already, and then they got on the show, like it was just a natural. You don't recreate that.
They did it, but I'm leaning Max though.
Character impact versus actor.
So here. Okay, so the character impact stance. That means if they took the character out, how would that affected the show? If you take Max out of Living Single, I don't think there's enough balance as far as everybody ragging on each other.
And I feel the opposite. I feel if you take Pam out of Martin, there's not enough of a storyline for Gina.
Really?
Yeah, I don't feel like there's
I don't think
enough.
Like their relationship wasn't like truly integral until Martin and Gina couldn't be on the set together. But that was only one season.
I feel like y'all can vote. Y'all can definitely put in your comments, Jazzy. I see that you say Max too. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like without Pam, Martin wouldn't have been the same. I feel like without Max, they could have made some bickering happen between Regine and Khadijah, or Regine and Sinclair happen. I feel like they could have still made some comedy, like banter happen. I feel like Pam and Martin's beef made Martin like.
That's true. But the Kyle and Max beef though,
yeah,
right?
They made me spit stuff out on several.
But how many steps is it back? I'm sorry, y'all. I can probably quote every Living Single episode, so that's my randomness.
Just saying, like, it's 156 steps or something to get here. It's 156 steps to get here. But how many steps is it back? We clearly watch Living Single quite a bit.
Mama agrees.
I agree with Justice Max for me, yeah. Okay, all right. When it comes to humor, or if they were not humorous characters, which we know in this one they both were, how was their emotional connection?
Max didn't have none.
I would agree with that.
Even when she decided to go get pregnant, she still didn't have no emotion. She bought that damn dog. 9! And figured if she could take care of a dog, she could take care of a human. What the hell kind of logic is that?
You remember she killed all them plants?
No, that was Sinclair.
Oh, yeah. I can't keep anything alive. When it comes to emotional connection, I feel like when I think of emotional connection, I think of the actor's ability to make me connect to their character. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I could connect to Max when she was trying to like soften up a little bit, but she didn't really want to let Kyle in, like having that wall up. And like he's doing all these nice things. And she's like, what do you want? You know, she's just kind of looking at him like, but what do you want from me? Like, nah, I don't
when
trust
he brought her that bracelet and she traded him in for some, some fake leather boots.
Yeah. So shit like that, she's like, nah, like she doesn't want to attach to anything because she's scared of getting hurt. So I feel like she did a really good job of making us believe that. I also think she did a really good job with the making us kind of see where the emotional tie came from whenever she had to interact with her mother. So I think she got me invested in her emotionally that way, but I feel like the emotional connection to Max was in the fact that she was not emotionally connected to anything. Whereas with Pam, you got to see her loyalty and her sadness with Gina. They cried together. Her anger, her loyalty, So I would have to go with Pam on being able to be both humorous and with emotional connection.
Yeah, because she just wanted a man. Mm-hmm. And she made us all feel that.
Mm-hmm.
The love story, it's got to go to Max. The love story. Mm-hmm. It's got to go to Max and Kyle.
Yeah.
It was so tumultuous.
Yeah.
But we all wanted it. And they knew they belonged together. They just couldn't figure it the hell out.
They could roast each other to all hell, though, man.
Oh, man, it was great.
To all hell. Yeah, I would have to give that to Max and Kyle for sure with the love story.
Everyone, the average slep rock. Sorry. I can do that all day.
Representation. What did they represent for you? Who represented?
I loved
Blackness.
that Max represented who she wanted to be, and she never wavered from that. Even when, remember, she got put on suspension, and then they asked her to come back, and they were gonna give her a lesser role, and she was like, "Nah, I ain't having that. I have a trajectory I'm trying to get towards, and
Very
this
true.
ain't the trajectory that y'all got me on. So I quit."
Very true.
So yeah, I feel like the representation on Max's end. Not saying that Pam didn't have good representation, but what she stood for, Max, all the woman Shaw. She wanted to be a Supreme Court justice and own a Sizzler. Why do I know so much? Okay.
I would agree as far as representation. I feel like Max represented being successful even when she was without a job. She was a lawyer. She went to college. She, was independent and took care of herself. She represented that strong black woman, ness. I also feel like Pam did the same, just in a different way, because she was more so wanting a man, right? Whereas Max was like, I got this, so it was just two different types of representation.
I think it was more on the forefront for Max because she could have been a main character, or they were all main characters, and Pam was almost like a sidekick.
Yeah, I'd agree. So I would go with Max on representation as well. Even though Pam, don't shade Pam, y'all. Y'all remember she was trying to get in A&R Records. She had big dreams. She had big dreams that she was gonna do whatever she needed.
She found Tyrese.
Yeah, to make it happen. And then, what lesson would you say that each character taught us? Who did you learn the most from?
Well, when I was younger and growing up, I was more like Max. I didn't want to show no emotion. So I would say I probably learned those lessons from Max. And now I'm trying to undo all those lessons and just look for love.
I feel like I was the opposite. I was looking for love when I was younger. And then now I'm like, fuck that, no new friends. Like, when I got older, if it comes, it comes. If it don't, whatever. But I found my love. Right here. I'm just saying I stumbled upon it when I stopped looking for it. So I feel like it was the opposite. I feel like I started off as Pam and ended up being Max, and you started off as Max and ended up being Pam, and look at us.
We met somewhere in the middle. We became Sinclair and Overton.
Right. Right. Who was next?
Ooh, Jamie Foxx versus Steve Harvey from the Steve Harvey Show.
Fun fact, guys, I loved the Steve Harvey Show growing up. I absolutely
Watch it right after school?
Yes, as soon as I got home, the Steve Harvey Show would come on, and then the Jamie Foxx Show would come on. And I would rush home, and I'd be really upset if I turned it on and it was almost over. I had a crush on Hakeem. Like, I was committed.
Oh, his name wasn't Hakeem. It was
It wasn't in that show. It was
his
Romeo.
Name, yeah.
I had a
Something
crush on
Santana
Romeo.
in real life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We loved the Jamie Foxx show in our house. I bought the whole DVD set and gave it to my mama.
I did. That was when sitcoms were the shit, man. I would run home I would sit and watch all of those. It was us on TV. So much fun. That's why 90s kids are where we are now, and 80s kids, the latter part of the 80s kids. But anyway, with Jamie Foxx versus Steve Harvey, with their character development or character impact, who you got?
Well, I mean, both of their names are in the show, so I don't feel like you could have taken either out. The shows are the shows because of them.
That's true. The shows were centered around them in particular, so you can't necessarily switch out Jamie for another Jamie. It's fucking Jamie. What else? That's
but
true.
as far as the actor, if the actor could have been switched out, I feel like if I had to choose between the two, as far as anybody who could be switched out, I would say Steve Harvey, because Jamie can do it all. There's not many people who can do it all. It's usually you're funny or you can sing.
Steve Harvey does comedy and sings too, and
Yeah,
plays
but
an
it's
instrument.
It's not. Well, Jamie plays instruments as well.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. They do the same shit.
But Steve Harvey singing ain't Jamie Foxx singing. We wasn't unpredictable.
Steve Harvey didn't necessarily do the same
DJ,
thing.
won't you play?
Oh, Lord. Steve Harvey didn't do the same thing.
Oh.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, Steve can sing. He had that old, what was it, the high tops?
Yeah.
That's what they called them. They was shoo-doo. That ain't.
Him and Cedric the Entertainer. What was the name of that song? It had Pops in it from Friday. Oh, man. Oh, man.
It ain't a Jamie Foxx production. That's all I'm trying to say.
That's true. It ain't fuck you.
Fuck.
Fuck you.
If y'all haven't seen Jamie Foxx's I Might Need Security, y'all gotta go back and watch it. Cause the man is hilarious as well.
It is. But the show.
The show.
Jamie Foxx or Steve Harvey show. I absolutely loved the Steve Harvey show growing up. As an adult looking back, I can say I actually enjoyed the Jamie Foxx show more and I watched it more. It also lasted longer, I believe. But as a kid, I absolutely loved the Steve Harvey show, but not for Steve Harvey. I loved Regina and Levita in Romeo. They were funny, and that heavyset white girl, Lydia, she was funny
all
as
that
fuck. Yeah, she was funny as fuck, and she was in the Steve Harvey show. So the rest of the cast made the Steve Harvey show for me. I could have done without Steve.
Oh, damn.
No, I know you can't say not to be rude after saying some shit like that. Huh?
Not after saying some rude shit.
But I mean, for me personally, looking back at the show, the rest of the characters is what made that show funny and fun to me, even though it was centered around the people that Steve surrounded himself with. The people he surrounded himself with were the funny ones in the show. Whereas on Jamie Foxx show, Jamie was the humor, he was the talent, he was the
Braxton was hilarious though.
Braxton was also funny.
Don't get it bent. Braxton
But it wasn't
was
like, to
hilarious.
me, the whole cast wasn't just lit and funny the way the Steve Harvey show's cast was.
That's true. I mean, he had other comedians on the show, so.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. Yeah. So humor,
Who had the better love story? Steve and Regina or Jamie and Fancy?
Jamie and Fancy. Even it's the same trajectory because he was basically chasing her the whole time and she was saying no, 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 no. Till you saying yeah, 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 yeah. But how
Regina
Jamie,
low-key wanted to give it to Steve, though. Regina
did.
was fighting herself. She was just in denial. Regina wanted to give it to Steve.
Fancy was fighting it, too.
That's true. But Regina made it obvious that she just wanted him to get his shit together. Fancy was like, nah, I'm good. She dated other people and everything. Like, God dang, girl.
But was still hanging out every day with Jamie, doing everything with Jamie. So, yeah.
The love story of Jamie and Fancy was just funny because Jamie would just find himself in weird ass predicaments, and look like he's lying when he was telling the truth, and then be lying when it looks like that should be believable. And Fancy was just out here looking,
but then
super slow.
He was a real nigga though, because when he finally got her, what'd he do? Act all brand new and shit. Mm-hmm. Act all brand new and had her guessing. Should I be with you?
Representation, or no, humor and emotional connection. Who was the funniest and who gave us the most emotional connections? The most feels?
That's hard for me because, I got a soft spot for education. So the way that Steve used to educate the kids, not just what was in the books, but everything else about life.
When you said that, all I thought of was that episode when he told them, "Oh, you just damn slow."
He used to talk to them kids crazy, but that's how I used to talk to the kids too.
"Oh, you just so damn slow." They wouldn't let a teacher say that on TV now, but in the 90s, Steve Harvey got away with some shit that was funny.
He was getting on their heads. I definitely connected with that, but now in the space that we're in, and Jamie's a struggling entertainer, I feel him a lot more on all the avenues and ways he was trying to make it. When that nigga broke into the radio station.
I was just about to say, because I'm starting to think about ways we can become a little more creative. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, y'all gonna see this doggone content, okay? Look at me! Look at me! Somebody put me in a movie. I'm good, goddammit. I feel you, Jamie Foxx.
Jamie had so many chances, though.
He did.
He had so many chances, like the KC and JoJo tour. That nigga had that see-through blouse on.
What was he singing? He was ripping something on.
Oh, man. Oh, God. That's great.
Man, so I think they both had really good humor. As far as emotional connections, I would have to say I don't remember anything happening on the Steve Harvey show that didn't involve the kids, like other people, that made me emotional. I don't remember Steve ever bringing out like something that made me super emotional, except when he almost lost his job as a teacher and they all rallied up to keep his job. Other than that, there was nothing that made me just like, for Steve. Even when him and Regina broke up, I wasn't sad about it. I was just like, oh, well. Sometimes it just ain't meant to be. Even as a child, like I was not invested in that love. In that love story. Representation, what did each character represent for us?
I would say Steve, because he represented someone who was not just about teaching what was in the textbooks, but giving free game to these kids as well, even though most of the time they didn't want to listen, but giving away free game that they needed for life.
I fuck with that. For me, knowing that I've always wanted to be an entertainer, I felt like Jamie was just like a symbol to not give up. Like, even when the people who love you most are kind of telling you you need to focus on something else, you know, like maybe you should just go ahead and take over the hotel. Like, they were like, maybe you should just go ahead. They were ready to, when they were thinking about retiring and shit, giving their stuff to Jamie and Fancy.
But that's what pushed him in the jingles.
Yeah, to move forward and things of that nature. Yeah, so I feel like Jamie represented more to me, being someone who knew I wanted to act but could also sing and songwrite, and was told that I was really funny. I was like, I can do all of those things. He's trying to do all of those things. He was just looking for a foot in any door. If it's being a comedian, if it's singing, if it's songwriting, if it's, promoting and putting together parties and whatnot, he was just looking for any foot he could get in any door, and I can definitely...
We miss you too, Jazzy.
I can get with that. We miss you too, Jazzy. Hi, love. So it looks like Jamie won on most of those, yeah? Jamie Foxx beat out Steve Harvey. Next.
Oh, I'm going to love this one. I'm going to love doing this one.
Next, we have Sinclair from Living Single versus Kim from The Parkers.
Oh, this is going to be great.
So great. So much fun. We the Parkers. Ooh, that is cute. I love the Parkers. I still love Living Single.
Okay, so character impact.
Pay them their money.
Yeah, pay them their money.
I feel like if you remove Sinclair from Living Single, she's definitely missed. Like, I feel like her presence is definitely 100% missed. But if you remove Kim from the Parkers, I don't think there... Yeah, I was like, I don't think there is a Parkers, the Parkers. I feel like Kim and Nikki are needed for that show to be the show that it was. So character impact, I'm going to have to go with Kim because she's not replaceable. And I can't think of another actor that would have played Kim better than Kim did. Countess Vaughn bodied that role. Now, I don't know if that's a compliment to say that playing dumb,
still to this day, don't nobody know her real name.
Yeah. You played slow as shit very well. So. You played it superb. She did.
Countess, if you watching this no harm.
She did the best job. You did. And she would like get this slow face. It was real good. She superb. Kim could not have been replaced by anybody else, in my opinion. As far as Sinclair, I feel like Sinclair could have been played by somebody else. I still think comedians like Kim Whitley and whatnot still could have pulled off some of those. Sherry Shepherd. could
I
have
don't
pulled
think it
off.
would have been the same.
I don't know, and we don't know. We'll never
Yeah,
know.
we don't know.
I think Sinclair did a great job, but I can think of other female comedians that probably could have pulled off that role a little bit better. But I can't think of anyone who could have played Kim Parker. I don't know anybody else that could play Slow. That guy. That damn well. That guy had me convinced something was wrong with Kim.
No, no, legit. I thought she was loose in the brain.
Yeah, legit. She played that role wonderfully. Countess, yeah, mind you, she played an exceptionally smart kid on 227 before Revolution. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She
That's
did
what I'm
that.
saying. Her acting was superb because she convinced me that something was wrong with Kim Parker, okay?
But you told me not to push the button.
Mama, no!
Oh, Lord. Oh,
The way
Lord.
she would just randomly break out singing with her little neck bob. Go ahead, Kim. I loved the Parkers, y'all. I absolutely loved the Parkers. She said rent was due. I hear you. Could nobody play Kim Parker the way Countess played Kim Parker. When it comes to humor or emotional connection, which do you think, which character you side with?
As far as humor goes, Sinclair. She's no sister of yours.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, my gosh.
Sinclair, as an adult, Sinclair is freaking funny. As an adult, Sinclair is still freaking funny. As an adult now, looking back at the Parkers, I went back and I started watching it again. It still makes me chuckle, but it makes me chuckle in nostalgia more than it does as still being humorous. Sinclair is still funny today.
Yes.
Like if you go back and you rewatch Living Single, Sinclair will still make you laugh today.
Crack
Kim
up.
Parker is kind of like, oh, it was dry humor. Oh, it was funny back then because we were young and she was doing young shit. No, Sinclair will still have you in tears today. So when it comes to humor, I'm going to have to give that to Sinclair. Emotional connection. I was really invested in a lot of stuff that happened to Kim. I mean, she was married for a minute and then got it annulled. Her and that Jerome dude or Jamal, whoever he was, he had a baby and had to leave for a while. Then her and Alan were together and then Alan lost all the weight.
Then she had to take care of the baby for a little bit. Then the
while he
mama
was
came
gone,
back.
took the baby. And then Alan came and they were together and they were so in love and they was fat together, but then he went to fat camp and came back skinny and it fucked up their whole relationship. Like I was invested, okay, in Kim's love life, bro. Like she had some ups and some downs, okay. So yeah, I would have to say emotional connection. I was more invested in Kim. I felt like Sinclair and Overton were gonna be together forever, even when they fought, like, because their fights weren't even real fights. So it was like, I don't feel like they about to write anything else for this love story, even as a kid.
Okay.
Okay. Who had the best love story is the next question.
Oh, my mama said humor is Kim. Sorry.
Kim was funny.
She was.
She was very funny. But yeah, when I look back at it now as an adult,
Yeah.
Sinclair still makes me laugh. But okay, Mama, thank you for saying your opinion. She said Kim wins it. One vote
Nah,
for
my
Kim.
mama loved the Parkers. My mama loved the Parkers.
I'm with you, Mama. That's something we could stay up and watch together when you come visit.
Yeah, my mama loved the Parkers. Oh my gosh.
Love story. I think that's obvious.
Yeah,
for
that's
Sinclair and
obvious,
Overton. I was more invested in Kim's love story, but that's because it kept ending.
Yeah, she had a different story
yeah.
every week.
There was a lot to invest in. Even for a minute, she dated T. It was a whole situation. So then she wanted back with Hakeem. It was a whole thing. Anyway,
I
representation.
was invested in Sinclair and Overton's love story, especially when he was trying to propose and it was like a whole 2-episode thing and he couldn't, and finally he had to just do it in the police station. It was a whole bunch of stuff going on. Yeah. So I would say I was more invested in their love story.
With representation, which one do you think represented something new or blackness for you?
The black love that they had, and it was just so pure and innocent, and it was just like love at first sight for them. It was like they belonged together.
For me, Kim showed me that everybody fits somewhere. Her friend group, she fit perfectly there with Stevie and T and Hakeem for a while because Moesha and them had gone. So she started her own, thing and went to a community college. But their friendship fit so much, even though Kim was slow as snail snot. She just she was just fucking slow.
Dumber than the doorknob.
Yeah. But her friends loved her and loved her talented, creative, fun, loving self. And so I connected with that representation that they all came from different backgrounds. They all had different, goals in life and whatnot, and they just fit together in their friendship. But same thing could be said for Sinclair. Sinclair fit into her group of friends. They just accepted her and loved her for the way that she was. And as a child who was struggling with trying to figure out why my brain seemed to work differently than everybody else's, I loved that for them.
And then another thing that I loved about Sinclair, I love about Sinclair now as an adult in our spiritual journeys, Sinclair was the first one that had crystals. Sinclair was the first one looking at horoscopes, and reading energies and using tuning forks and all those types of things that we all do now. So Sinclair was ahead of the curve.
It's true.
And Jazzy, she says slow as snail snot. That's what she said. That's what she said.
I said what I said. Okay, so in that one, that was, we got what, 2 for Sinclair and 2 for Kim on that?
Yeah. Tiebreaker. Or no. Yeah, that was a tie.
There's 5 of them. The lesson, or what lesson did they teach us? I think that's what we just answered. Oh, yes, a tie. All right. So moving on to movie characters.
Oh, wait, before we move there, let's, what 90s character do you think you would have bodied as an actress?
Who could I be? I feel like I would be, naturally, I'd be a dope Khadijah from Living Single. Because I could be silly when I wanted to, but I could also just be chill when I wanted to, and I feel like I'm good at being a blend. But I also feel like if it was my job to play... I honestly feel like I could have bodied almost any role on Living Single. Honestly, I feel like I could have bodied almost any role on Living Single. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Khadijah.
Well, now I gotta go with somebody else.
Why?
Because that's who I was gonna choose for myself.
Oh.
I mean, in the 90s, there was no real woman who embraced their masculinity except for Khadijah and Max. Because Khadijah was still connecting with people through basketball.
I could have played a fire-ass Pam, too.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But I think you could have played a good Kim.
I think I can probably body Kim. But you just need me just the whole time. And then randomly go, I can do it. I swear to God I can do it. Mama, no! But you told me not to push the button.
Oh my
T-Bow's coming, T-Bow's coming, T-Bow.
Yo, what is happening?
T-Bow. I probably could have. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Anyway.
man.
Movie characters.
But I could have been, you know what? Now that I sit here and think about it, I could have been a good Keenan, the brains of the operation. Oh, hell no. I could have been a good Keenan.
You could have been a good Keenan.
Oh, yes, because, we put these shows on when we don't feel like paying attention to TV. or if I'm working or something. So yeah, I know a lot of these episodes.
Me
Yeah,
too.
we don't have the young kids where we have to watch Baby Shark do 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 do. Yeah,
we
we
just
don't.
throw. I told y'all my kids are getting a '90s upbringing. I will throw on a '90s show real quick. Just yesterday, what did I put on? And they were like, "What is this? What did I throw on?" It was one of them.
They
doggone
watch Fresh
90s.
Prince with
Yeah, one of them '90s shows I put on. This what we finna watch.
Girl, they don't even have their own gaming system. They use our Super Nintendo.
They get the '90s upbringing. I'm telling y'all. Y'all still about to. Movies. Anyway, we are doing Eddie Murphy in Harlem Nights versus Cleo from Set It Off.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Character impact. Well, I think both characters are needed.
Yeah. Like
To make the
they're
movie.
central characters.
But could they have been played by someone else?
Back then, when they made Harlem Nights, I think it was like '89. There was not a smoother nigga on the screen other than Eddie. There was not a smoother one. Arsenio came close, but he wasn't Eddie. So I don't feel like at that point in time.
But could he have played the role?
Nah, not like Eddie did. Nah. I don't think there was nobody else suited for that role. And if you haven't seen Harlem Nights and you're black, I'm going to take your black card. Just give it here.
Give it here.
Give it here. And if you haven't seen it, you need to watch it today.
Cleo from Set It Off.
Oh, my mama said Regina. Did we have one for Regina?
Regina who? What's she talking about?
From the Steve Harvey show.
No.
We could do Regina versus Regine. We'll talk about that later. Sorry.
I was trying to think. We could do Regina versus Fancy.
Oh, yeah. We could. All right. If we got time, we'll do that.
I just prefer the movie. I know you're really into Harlem Nights. I just preferred Set It Off. Set It Off meant more to me.
You was out here robbing banks.
And the role meant more to me. Nah, but I could see why a motherfucker would. We was broke, goddamn it.
Day after day.
Do you hear me? Though I'm missing you.
We should probably think about robbing a bank today.
Facts. Like, I'm just saying. We might be easily recruited today.
I'm not
If you
putting
got a good plan.
no cotton in my mouth at a round table though.
Yeah, we ain't doing that. But yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like their friendship was more relatable because even when Cleo accidentally shot that gun off or whatever, and then when she got mad at Jada and pointed the gun at her, like as soon as she was done and Jada just like punched her in her shit in her face, I was like, that's friendship. Like even as a kid, I was like, that's friendship. Because have you lost your mind? Like I know you wasn't gonna shoot me, but at the same time, you almost shot me. Like.
Oh, you point a gun at me?
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
In your lip. Bow! Shit, immediately. We ain't nothing to talk about. We still cool. Actually, we probably would not be cool no more. But their friendship or whatever, the movie was meant more to me. Their friendship meant more to me than in Harlem Nights. It was just, I don't know.
Oh no! Don't do that to Harlem Nights. Don't do that. Don't do that.
She can
don't
tell
do that.
her version.
Don't do that.
Of why it's an amazing show.
Movie?
Movie, sorry.
The representation of black people back in the 20s in Harlem. Oh, it meant so much. Renaissance. Come on. All right, come on. Let's keep going. The actor, so you don't think anybody could have replaced Queen Latifah?
I can't think of anyone who could have replaced Queen Latifah. I'm sure they got plenty of people who went out for the role. I personally can't think of anyone who would have played that role better.
Like as gangster as she was, I just don't see anybody being better.
Yeah. She was larger and heavier set, like more solid. But even if they would have went with someone with just the same body type of everyone else, I feel like they probably would have been able to put MC Light in there
Oh.
for Cleo. Um,
The brat wasn't old enough.
right. Yeah, I was like, I feel like that girl that played Big What's Her Face on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just for aesthetics, I don't know how she would. Her voice was a little me. You know, when it came to trying to be a thug, I don't know how that would have went over. But I can think of a few people that would have still fit the aesthetic of the group. But Queen Latifah bodied her role.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What about humor or emotional connection?
As far as humor goes, that's going to Eddie for me. Like the movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Because Cleo was still definitely, to me, one of the comedic reliefs of the group outside of TT. Well, actually, they all had their own little bit of laugh moments, except Stoney, in my opinion. Stoney was not funny at all. But her accidentally shooting the gun off, her dancing on the table, her, going through the CDs and whatnot, trying to find music before they drive off. Like, bitch, we just robbed a goddamn, we are still in this vehicle, let's go. Like there were just certain moments that made it funny and realistic for black folks. Like, I'm not driving off until I got bangers. Excuse me. That made it funny, but I feel like the movie Harlem Nights was made for comedy to be written into it. So I do feel like Eddie.
When he shot her in the pinky toe?
Yeah.
You shot my pinky toe.
Yeah, so that's how I felt on that. What was the next
Emotional
one?
connection. Oh, it's definitely Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
Like I had some thug tears when she got shot up, and she played shot up so well.
The way she just on the car and slid down that motherfucker.
Cause we all wanted her to get away.
I know. I was like, shit.
Yeah, we all wanted her to get away.
And how they not shut down the road in time? They had a bus just driving by with live rounds, just bop, 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 bopping off. How the street not shut down? I don't understand. But Stoney sitting there looking at the window. Like, how nobody else see you? Okay, all right, I'm done. But anyway, the movie was still amazing to me. Emotional connection, yes, I agree. Definitely goes to Cleo.
A love story. The way Eddie Murphy took down Jasmine Guy, but she was just doing business.
Yes,
She was
like,
trying to kill him.
That one love. Cleo had whatever the heck that little bald head girl's name was. And
Not
they
the
was-
bald head.
Yeah, and they was in love, and now Cleo gone. She was gay out loud and got shot up in the scrape.
Damn.
Horrible, tragic.
Representation. I love the way that Harlem Nights portrayed that part of that moment in time about how black people couldn't be club owners, and they had to have it as a front for a candy shop, but it was really a banging club, and he was making more money than anybody else at that point in time. So I love that about them.
I'd agree. I don't think Set It Off necessarily had any positive representation
At all.
outside of their friendship being friend. But even then, their friendship still had toxicity within it. So I'm not really sure the representation was there. So I would give that to Harlem Nights as well. And
Lesson, what did they teach us? If you down on your luck,
at least one of y'all might get away if you rob a bank. Rob
it's
it
a
with people.
25% chance you might get away.
Rob it with smart people, with people you know you could spare. If you rob a bank, rob it with your smart bonus friends.
Not your real friend.
So you can pour some out for your homies. Don't be trying to go to Mexico and you done fucked off your brother. Don't do that.
Oh, snap. Who would you name 3 other people you would choose to rob a bank with?
Well, after I say that, I can't name them now. They gonna be like, damn, homie, for real? I'm your expendable friend. Now you. 3 people you would rob a bank with.
I guess I can't answer either
Exactly.
since we're looking at it like that. Jazzy volunteers.
Jazzy, you would
One of you got to go.
That's why I love
I gotta rob banks with people who have already done crimes and
I feel
felonies.
like Jazzy is the TT of the group, though.
Oh no, you the first dead, Jazzy. You the first dead.
I feel like she's the one nobody expects to rob anything. She's got this little bitty voice, and she's so little. She looked 12 years old. She'd be the first
But
motherfucker that
Jazzy
got
be on
clipped.
people's heads though.
She do. But the roasting people is not an art when you try to rob a bank. That ain't the skill set we need to rob the bank.
Yeah, I need to rob a bank with people who are already in trouble for something. So
Jazzy said, I'm small, but I'm quick. You can't outrun me, bitch. You can't. We gotta get the money.
oh gosh.
We gotta get a player, Jazzy.
It's a 50-50
She
shot.
agile. She agile. She quick like a kitten.
I don't
be
think
a
that's
jewel
a
thief.
Oh, okay.
She could be a jewel thief. We ain't gotta rob a bank.
Who's stealing jewels?
The cat burglar, Jazzy.
Oh, stop. All right. So we gonna move on. Okay, let's do Cat Williams from Friday After Next versus Mike Epps from Next Friday. Character impact. I think Cat Williams is just that dude. Cause we could even add in Chris Tucker. All 3 of the different sidekicks.
To me, Chris Tucker was still the most memorable if we did all 3 of them. But out of the 2 that you listed, Cat Williams was still the most memorable to me rather than Mike Epps. I think Kim Whitley was still more memorable to me out of that one than Mike Epps was.
Tell your fine ass daddy, I said.
But that's
No,
not Kim
oh,
Whitley.
yeah.
But
She was talking about Craig. Yeah.
yes, I would go with
I agree.
Cat.
And as far as actor,
I'm a boy, Damon.
I don't know what your name is. Damon?
Well,
I am a boy.
he had his balls in the goddamn wrench from the toilet.
2, hold your balls.
Yeah, Cat was that dude for me. Humor wise as well, Cat was that dude for me. He takes it for me. The stuff that made Mike Epps funny was other people, like just the fact he was in a situation, like the baby mama that wasn't his baby mama and Pinky and stuff like that. It wasn't him himself being funny, in my opinion.
Okay.
What's next?
Emotional connection.
I don't really think I had an emotional connection to either one of those characters. I could understand why Cat flipped the way he did, because old dude was trying to take him booty.
Your eyes ain't supposed to just be hazel. They supposed to put some damn work around here. Crashing through your balls.
Yes. Yes. So I feel like Cat Williams had the better humor. I don't think I had an emotional connection to either one of the characters. I wasn't emotionally invested in anything that Day really had going on, except when they were trying to get the job as a security in that conversation. I can't really remember how it goes, but that conversation of he ain't top flight security or whatever, like we just supposed to be doing.
Where your
our
flashlight
jobs.
at? You know you got to shine some damn body.
Yeah. Yeah, that was funny. But outside of that, I still feel like Cat Williams took it. What about you?
Yeah, I would agree.
Representation?
Representation.
Because I don't think either one of them had a real love story.
Oh no. The representation. I would say Cat Williams as well, because He just embodied being a pimp. Like, if you wanted to see truly what a pimp was, that was Cat. From the perm, the nail. If you don't know what the nail signifies, you got to Google it.
I felt like Day embodied everything that was just being down on your luck or a broke ass nigga. Like, just just trying to find whatever little job you can at the time to get just enough money to do just what it is that you want to do. Like, not really, you don't really know where you want to go or what your goals are. You just know you're tired of doing the same shit, but the same shit is all that's available. So he just kind of was in that young, confused, I don't really know what I want to be, where I want to go, what I want to do. I just know I need to do something kind of stage. And I think that represented a great deal of blackness and a great deal of young black Americans who feel like, I got to do something. I got to make something. There's something that needs to be done because you need money. You got to survive. But the people before you didn't know how to do it either. They just got a job and they ended up in that same shit. They just got a job and had to keep doing it and keep moving. And next thing they know, they looked up and they've been doing that same job for 20 years and they didn't want to do it. They just never figured out what they did want to do. So I feel like he was just going, I feel like he represented following the
his
system.
Daddy won the whole lottery and tricked it off in like 2 years.
Yeah, so that's how I feel.
We got time for one more. We got 4 minutes left.
Okay.
All right, what you want to move on to?
Ooh.
5 Heartbeats.
Ooh, yeah, we can do the 5 Heartbeats.
All right. Eddie Kane from the 5 Heartbeats versus David Ruffin in The Temptations.
Oh, man.
This is David Ruffin. These are The Temptations.
That scene in The Temptations when not even the Ain't Nobody Coming to See You, Otis, the scene in The Temptations after they kick him out the group and he comes walking from the back of the room while they're singing at an event and walks up like he's still supposed to be a part of it and just stands in front of them. Boy, the way I would have kicked him off that stage is just...
A Spartan kick, too.
And I wouldn't have even kicked... You know, like normally when you go to kick somebody, you kick him in the butt. I would have kicked him straight between his shoulder blades. My feet would have came so doggone high up off that ground. Because the way he just that in front of them people, oh, boy.
You got to see me.
Do you hear me? It was just my imagination straighten this goddamn back. Or I'd have just took the mic and started swinging in the back of his eye. You lost your mind, sir? Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no. That's crazy. Coincidentally enough, there is a scene that is similar in 5 Heartbeats where Duck and his brother JT start fighting on stage, but it is it starts off as real and then it becomes a joke that they do later on. But yeah, I was like, see, I'm not mentally stable enough to be playing with people playing with my money while we on stage, because I'm gonna beat your ass where we stand. I don't care how many cameras are in here. I'm finna run in your lip where we stand because you're playing in my face. So I'm about to hit you in yours. Like, ain't no way. But anyway, character influences. I feel like Leon owned David Ruffin. I feel like he became David Ruffin in that show. But I also feel like nobody else could have played Eddie Kane the way Eddie Kane played Eddie Kane. I don't feel like I've seen some people play wonderful crackheads. Chris played a wonderful fucking crackhead. Dave has played a wonderful crackhead. But Eddie Kane goes down in history. And that man played a great crackhead.
That's true. I don't think they're either one of them.
Yeah, it's like the way he opened up that jacket. Dang. Yeah. 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 And my emotional connection with him. Because at the end, when he goes to sing his doggone song too with the choir, I was invested. Oh.
It's the daddy.
He did that, man.
Nights like this.
I wish that raindrops would fall. Eddie was committed. You think you could be me, but you can't ever. You ain't ever gonna be me. The best crackhead.
Yo, we got 40 seconds left.
I'm sorry.
Tell them about your upcoming shows real quick, and we gotta wrap up.
Oh crap! What's today? Thursday. Tomorrow I am at Oyo Hotel and Casino here in Las Vegas. I also am at Jimmy Kimmel's on the 26th and 28th. Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club here in Las Vegas as well. Guys, come and see me. Come and see me. Also, you can follow me at King Me Comedy on all social media platforms, and you can keep up with my upcoming shows from there. And also buy some merch, guys. KingMeComedy.com. Check out my t-shirts. They are hilarious. What else you got, babe? Tell them where to find you.
JD Sunshine on all platforms.
Catch us right here every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific, right here for Laugh Therapy. You guys get in the comments and vote on which characters you guys think were just the best character for the 90s, and we will vote on those. Next week, we may start a poll. Talk to y'all next week, guys.
See ya.